And welcome back to my channel. It's your host Arlette, and we are here today with Jeremy and Briante. Welcome, y'all. How we feeling?
Hey, what's happening? Thank you for having us.
I'm good.
Good. So we had you both on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a match! I'll take this. Y'all going off. Yes! Okay, so obviously, on the show, we got to know you guys a little bit. You told us, just a few things here or there, but we would like to get to know you guys just a little bit more before we dive into, the juicy topic at hand. So let's start with you, Briante. Tell us more.
More about the relationship or
Oh,
just
about yourself.
Just myself.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a mom. I do my music. That's pretty much what I've just been on is focused on that. And, I currently do reside in LA, but I will be residing in Phoenix soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of like in the work and the process right now. So
Got it.
yeah.
Nice. So are you from LA?
No, I'm from Arizona.
Oh, so you're from Arizona, then you
Yeah.
went to LA, and
Yeah.
then you're like, I'm coming back.
Here,
Yes.
family's here, I got a kid, so he wants to be
With
cousins.
his family.
So,
Yeah.
So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then how old are you again?
27.
27.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, AZ welcomes you back. All right, Jeremy, what about for yourself?
I'm originally from California as well.
Okay.
From the Bay Area, Oakland area.
Nice.
I've been out here for a little over 2 years. I currently work for the most part. Have a couple side projects and things going on, hobbies and things like that. But I'm enjoying Arizona so far.
Good.
It's been cool.
Okay. So we saw on the show, you had asked a question that, kind of stirred the pot a little bit, got a lot of pops on you. You asked the ladies, why are you single? So why do you think so many people popped on you when you asked that question?
I think it's just one of those questions that people kind of assume like malicious intent,
Okay.
as opposed to kind of just doing introspective work and kind of seeing where they may have gone wrong in their previous relationships. It also may not, be about anything you necessarily did wrong. It could be like situations and circumstances
Right,
that kind of led to
exactly.
that. And so I thought the question left room for that sort of type of answer, but it seemed like it was kind of received negatively. So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you answered it just fine. You didn't see any problem with it, I'm guessing?
No, I mean, that's kind of like a valid question just because it's any question. Like, I don't
Right.
see why you'd feel some type of way about it.
Especially since we're on a dating show. We're
Yeah.
assuming everyone's single, so it's like,
Talking
okay.
about a relationship.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. And I think you kind of did explain a little bit your reason behind asking that question on the show as well, right?
Yeah, I think after I think one person's response, I kind of just responded and said I was just kind of looking for any sort of growth or anything that you may have learned from previous experience. So I think I clarified it a little bit, but damage was already done at that point. So.
Okay, no problem. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into my favorite question. Since you guys ended up matching on the show, have you guys gone on a date?
do you want to tell him, Jeremy, or
Go for
actually,
it.
should I?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna say so after we left the show, I offered him if he wanted to come and join me. At the time, I was already having a barbecue
Okay.
with my family.
And this was back in LA?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
here.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's here. So
Oh,
I rented
right.
a big Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
I threw my niece a birthday party, and that's kind of what I was rushing to get back to a little bit.
Got it.
And
Okay.
I offered for him to come, but I did give the option like if you don't want to come, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going right now. So if you want to come, it's barbecue. We're there, we're partying, we're drinking, we're having fun.
Right.
I'm very family oriented, so I'm very friends. Like if you're around me, you're gonna be around the people that I love.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with that, it's kind of like
No.
no, like obviously you don't need to be with me.
Yeah.
So we went back there, and I guess it just he did leave at 2 a.m, so it was like
Okay.
not
So
like that, not like that, not
no,
like
I mean,
that.
like he stayed for some time.
He stayed for some time.
Okay.
He acted like he did enjoy himself, and then you know, he went home after. Everything was kind of fine after that. It was cool. So it wasn't like no big thing. Nothing went wrong.
Okay.
You know, it was just like, okay, we got to know each other a little bit more, not that much, but a little bit more. And then the next day, we were supposed to hang out, but I had to fly back to LA.
Okay.
So we were planning on going on a real date, you know, fly out to LA and see me, or I can fly back to Arizona and see you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just didn't get to that point.
Okay. All right. So Jeremy, the barbecue you guys went to was right after filming? Like you
Yeah.
left filming, went straight
Yeah.
there? Okay. So how was that for you?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, Micah.
I enjoyed it. I'm also family oriented. I think we talked about that on the show. And got a chance to meet her family. I had a really good time. We played dominoes.
Okay.
So yeah, like she said, I kind of stayed a little later and then I went home. We were supposed to meet the next day. I think I was expecting her to I think we had a plan that she would let me know when she was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then that didn't happen. So we ended up kind of she kind of just went back home, and so we had talked about possibly having a date. Obviously with me having to go to LA or she coming back here.
Okay, so the next day when you guys were supposed to go on this so-called date, was that something you guys had discussed while you guys were at the barbecue, and then the next day there was no follow-up on it, or what happened?
We kind of discussed that the morning time, I think.
Okay.
It was more because he actually stays around where my sister stays. So we're in the same area,
Okay.
almost same facility. And
Right.
so, but I was so much with my sister and stuff. They don't get to see me that much. And so from breakfast, we have all the kids. It's just so much stuff right now that I can't bring him into
Okay.
right now
Okay.
to what we had going on. And that's why I was like, it took a little bit too much time. And then, flying in, you got to rent a car, you got to go clean it, you got to take it back.
Do a lot,
it was that. And then it's the heat. So you're hot and it was just too much. So I was okay with, I have no problem flying in 2 days later or flying in a week later to come see you, or you come see me. Like that, the way you shouldn't have that problem not coming to fly to see me.
Okay, so what went wrong? Was there just
Oh, would you like to tell him what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I think
Actually, no, let's hear from Jeremy.
Yeah,
She went
let's
first with the
let him
story.
say
Let's
what
hear from
went
you
wrong.
now. I think there were kind of a few things that happened from my perspective
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression or kind of set up the wrong kind of idea. And so ultimately, we came to there was a situation in which I was going out of town.
Okay.
I was going on a vacation. Previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior to
we
you
met,
coming on the
prior to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with, and I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friends, friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
ex and a friend, yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, we were okay. Let me tell you, we were on the phone. We're talking, getting to know each other. He said he's gonna go to Puerto Rico for his birthday, and I was like, "Oh, fun! Like, who are you going with?"
Right.
Like, he said he skipped the question first. He skipped the question, and then I was like,
I did, absolutely did.
Jeremy.
"Oh, okay." But then I asked again, like, "Wait, who are you going with?" And he said, "My ex," and I was like, "I think my phone's dying." So after that, I never talked to him again. I hung up.
I don't.
We never talked until the only way we talked again, because I think he called me a few times after that. I did not answer. There was no reason. There was no reason for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no
There's
longer
no
talking to
reason
him?
to
I did not
talk.
call her.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it was. You're going. What do you wanted me to do? Tell you how was the vacation with your ex? Like, did you guys chill on the beach or something? Like, did you want me to wait for when you got back? And then it's there was no talking afterwards.
Okay.
Well, there was nothing for us to talk about. And we didn't recently talk again until I found out that you know, people were sending me things, and they were sending me things like, oh, he went on a different podcast. He talked about you. He talked a lot of mess about you. He said things, talked about your family, talked about this and how it wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? He's kind of capped because that didn't happen. So a lot of things like he said that didn't happen. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like he went and talked about me. Cool. Like I really don't care at the moment because obviously from the jump it showed me that who he was, what he was doing. He wasn't looking for anything. It was just a good time. So it was just that's fine with me. And I was okay. You're going with your ex. We didn't start anything new. You know, it's just keep it pushing, you know.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I didn't badmouth her or say anything bad about her or her family.
Okay.
There was a situation, you know, that we were in that I did speak on another platform, but it wasn't. I didn't say it in a negative way. What I will say though is some of the things that were said and some of what I observed and seen kind of led me to kind of believe that it wasn't as serious as like.
Okay, such as what?
I mean, there was some transparency, some things she told me in confidence that I like would rather not share.
No problem.
But I will say that there were some things that she told me that she was processing through that kind of just, you know, put it in a different perspective for me as far as the seriousness of like what was happening.
Okay, so you think she wasn't as serious about getting to know you,
Well,
or
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just didn't think we were in a space to where I would cancel a trip with an ex or a friend because I met you. I just didn't think we were in a space where that would even be a reasonable ask, that I was obligated to do that, that it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all, when we had only, you know, hung out with each other one time. So from my perspective, based off of as well of what I kind of observed and understood she already currently had going on. So I would have thought that would have been kind of just, you know, like kind of a drop in the bucket, if you will.
okay,
Without saying too much, but to me, it was like, I didn't think it was that serious. And so, I mean, which is also why I had no problem with being just kind of forthcoming about it and honest. And so if she didn't like it, which is cool.
okay,
But she did kind of like make some sort of whatever kind of funny comment when I actually did go on vacation. She told me happy birthday and was like some sort of comment, I hope you enjoying or something with your ex.
Oh yeah, of course. I think we were still following each other, and I said, "Happy birthday! You're in Puerto Rico. I hope you have fun with your ex."
And
Like,
so
it
I
was great.
responded and so even at that point,
think I
I
blocked
thought
you.
that there was maybe some sort of, you know, attempt to continue conversation.
okay,
But so when I responded, I forgot what she said, but she said something to the effect, which was basically like kind of like ask if it was kind of, I felt questioned. And so I never responded to that. And that was our last communication before the podcast. And I do have receipts.
okay. After you guys had the conversation, she was like, "Oh, you're going with your ex." You just left it at that. You weren't interested enough, basically, is what you're saying, to
Yeah,
continue
to
it.
continue. There was nothing else to like. I mean, like if she liked it, she liked it. If she did, fine. But I didn't think I owed her that explanation, and I thought it was something that was just like, you know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Owed me. That's crazy. So I'm gonna just get this. Okay, first of all, how would we even have enough time? We just met. We're starting something new, right? So we came on here to find that other person love. Obviously, we've had stuff in our past. Like you're saying that for what he doesn't want to say, saying that I'm still in love with my ex. No, I told him I always have love for my ex. So I was like, you know, my ex fiance, whatever. You know, I always have love, but I'm not in love. If I
Okay.
was in love with that person, I would go be there fighting for that person to be with that person. But no, I told him like I'm single. I'm here. Like I didn't give you no like I'm with this, I'm with that. I told you what I do. I do my music. I you know, I take care of my kid by myself. I take care of my own responsibilities. I'm independent. And then all I need is somebody there with me to make me happy and have fun. I never once given him that, you know, sign that I'm still talking to him. I'm this. Like never once, because we didn't even get that far. Now for him to be like, he doesn't owe me anything, it's kind of messed up because it's like I'm not expecting you to owe me anything. Like you should be a gentleman. Like you came to me and you're looking for this, I'm looking for the same thing. So why do I have to accept that you're about to go have a time in Puerto Rico with somebody else and I'm here still looking for love, but gotta be okay that you're there having a great time with somebody that's in your past. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be focused on you, but that's what you're offering me to accept.
And so this trip was how soon after the show?
Like literally right after.
Oh,
Right after.
So the show was beginning of August, I believe. My birthday is at the end of August.
okay.
So,
Right after.
but again, vacations are previously planned, not planned the day of, right? So
So you weren't done. You weren't done with your past. And that's okay. Don't be done with your past.
I mean, I think that's a very kind of dogmatic way of looking at it, and that's okay if that's your worldview, but it's not mine. So you don't have to fall out to walk out. And because somebody's your ex doesn't mean that they still aren't your friend. And so what that means to you can be different. And I think that's unique between people and their relationships.
So did you guys stay in the same room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Jeremy, if the
Okay.
roles were switched, like for example, let's say her and her ex went on a vacation after you guys met, you would have been totally okay with that, still getting to know her after that trip? Or
Well, I think if it was a previous planned vacation, I wouldn't have told her to cancel it yet. Like I don't know that I would have had a problem with that. Like like since we're here, like I met like her child's father like at the barbecue the day of. Like so
That I
was
haven't been
already-
together with for 8 years. 7
Okay.
years.
Okay.
So-
So
7 years.
whatever type of way though, when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way though, which is
That wasn't because of you. That was because, not to get too deep into it, but my child at the time didn't understand how birthdays work. And he was a little upset that somebody else was getting a lot of attention. So, I parented. And my son's dad, we're not together, but he's not really in his life like that. So it was a parenting thing, the why he got upset. Is
Okay.
because, I took full mom mode. He was trying and I excluded that out. So it was a parenting thing of why he left. It had nothing to do with him. And I just feel why you feel like you're that to take that. Like, I don't understand why you
So,
think it was for you.
So that's not what I was alluding to.
No.
If you're placed in those situations, like out of the gate for whatever reason, that just means that there's unresolved tension, if from my estimation or my observation, between you and your baby's father.
No, I have always not liked him. It's just always been like that. I don't like
like
him.
him.
He knows I don't like him. Everybody knows I don't like him. But we tolerate each other because he's been in my life for so long that my family invites him everywhere, but they don't look at him as in, oh, that's Breeze. Like,
that's your man.
they would be like, we will even say, like, bring a girl, bring somebody. Like, we would love to meet somebody that you have. Like, we even tell him.
Did y'all like go out or something like that, where you tried to like introduce him to a girl or something like?
Yeah, we've tried to introduce him. We go out to like groups, and before I would have somebody with me, I'll get my friends to try to get him to somebody. Like, sometimes he's into it, sometimes he's not, but that's him. I don't know his life. We're not into that. Like, he's around sometimes. So
But you
the
would
fact that
say
he's not a
that
factor.
but you would say that it's quite possible, even though you guys are exes and have a child together, to be friends and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after like, I don't think of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay,
So,
so my whole
so
point
he's
is
not a friend to you.
so my whole point
No.
is my whole point is it's possible to be a friend to someone after you've been in a relationship with them.
how
And
long
that's
was
what
your
my-
ex was though? How long?
How long? What? We've been broken up for over a year. Like,
That's not a comparison.
yeah,
I was with
but I
him
mean,
when I was like
I don't know what-
17.
I just want to answer the question. Like,
Like,
I'm
I
confused
have
on why that's
history.
relevant though.
I think she's
Also-
saying like maybe like feelings might still be involved.
Never.
Like on your end, and that's
A
why she was like,
year.
I'm gonna back up.
I mean,
That's a
that could
year.
be true if I was dating somebody else prior to coming on the show. Like that's an imminent truth, regardless of whether it's an ex or somebody new. So I think like that that's not a real danger. Like her exploring what could have been with me, like
Exploring.
us going or on vacation had no hindrance on that. Is what I'm saying.
So
Okay.
you don't think it'd be back in my head of what they're doing on vacation? Oh, so it's like for me, like, ooh, I just met somebody. Maybe I could start with, maybe I can go fly and see him. Like maybe there's something new because he's looking for this, looking for that. But then once you tell me like, oh, you're going with your ex, like that's like a slap in the face. And so it's just like, okay, obviously he's not serious, but then you have the means to tell me that I'm not, you didn't get to know me enough. You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try. You didn't try at all. Like
I
you
can agree
barely
with
called
that.
me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think my just based off of what I observed in totality, that did not lead me to put my best foot forward or my best attempt to get to know you. So for that, you're right. Um, but I think based off of what you said or what I took away from our conversation at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not like kind of jump into this more seriously.
I don't see
And
how you're all over me at the barbecue. And then you're
yeah,
doing way too much. And
but
so I did send
physicality,
you home on an Uber. So
physicality, and like,
what you said,
and
it was nice. It was a black truck from what you said from the other
I
podcast you went
did. It
on
was
about me,
nice. It
right?
was nice, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
So
yeah.
physicality, me showing you physical interest, is not the same as me like pursuing you.
not.
So those are two completely different things. So if
So
I was,
you knew from the barbecue that you no longer wanted to pursue her?
well,
Is
I
that what I'm
just kind
getting?
of moved it into a different bracket or a different category, if you will. I just thought it wasn't advantageous for me to take it seriously at all. If you're still having this emotional attachment to your ex,
To the
I
ex.
never had an emotional attachment.
that's what I
This
understood
man
from
is
the
weird.
conversation.
So it sounds like there was like a
Yeah.
lot of miscommunication.
We weren't even by each other though. He was playing dominoes with everybody.
Well,
Like
no, this
we
conversation
weren't even by
happened.
each
Everybody
other.
went inside the house, and I don't know if she remembers because we were a little tipped.
No, we weren't.
But we were outside. They were all inside the house, and me and her were outside near the barbecue when this particular aspect of the conversation happened. I remember it pretty vividly because I kind of made a mental note of it, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I was honest. I was thankful for her being honest, but I kind of compartmentalized what was going on at that particular time, and like, just was more open to just see where it goes. But I'm like,
I've never been.
So just to ask you, Briante, so obviously when he said the whole ex thing, like that's who he's going on vacation with, for you as well, like you didn't care enough to text him either, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna continue this, like,
No, there was no point. He's with his ex still, so his mind's somewhere else. It wasn't, I didn't feel the need to reach out or anything. It was like, okay, back up. Obviously, I did say on the show I choose the wrong guys, obviously. So it was okay. And I was fine with that. I was fine with moving forward. I didn't show him I showed him who I was. We had a great time. I wasn't like flirting with my baby dad. It wasn't anything. He actually left early. So it was just like, he wasn't even there for the rest of the time there. And we had a good time. So that's why I didn't show him any signs that I was anything. Because the fact that my baby dad's in conversation right now, it really irks me for a man that you've never showed no interest, no love in the last 7, almost 8 years of your life. And then now that he put that as his reason, it's crazy. So he should be jealous of my exes or something. Like he should be thinking about them
Jealousy
than
is
of
crazy.
I mean not jealous, but like meaning like concerned. That's the word. You should be concerned about who I had before.
Previously.
Yeah, before like 2 years ago or something. You should be on that. I'd get that. I would get that.
It
But
was
to make
more
it
of
that,
a
then that's
collective
weird.
of a observation.
But why is my exes a factor if I never brought them to you?
I
I
think
never brought them to you. They never came into play. They never like was a conversation. I was focused on you. And like, come on.